Hi guys, so sorry for the relaxed attire, but it's the weekend and I'm chilling out, and I promised that I would do 2 videos a week. And this video is about the embracing failure. Is one of the things I've learned certainly over the last 10 years is that you've got to understand that failure is part of the journey of success. And Darren Hardy talks about, if you really want to be successful, you've got to fail big and you've got to fail fast, because that's the quickest way to learn. But so many of us are frightened to fail. And in fact, that scared feeling of failing stops us from actually going out there and doing what we need to do. Because if we want to achieve anything, we've got to make mistakes. Those mistakes are what's going to help us go, hang on, we need to change tactics, we need to tame strategy, because actually that's not working. And when we can learn from that, all of a sudden is we know what not to repeat, so therefore we know which way we need to go. And yet so many people are frightened of that failure. I was having a conversation with a couple of clients last week, and we were talking about, they were talking about how frustrated they are that they were making mistakes and that they weren't picking it up as quickly as they would like. And I talked about, would you expect to learn fluent and be fluent in a language within a couple of days? Or would you expect to be an Olympic athlete in a couple of days? Or would you expect to learn a piano in a couple of days and be fluent at it? And of course their answer is no. But when we start dealing with the mind, there's an awful lot of stuff that people there's this expectation we create in ourselves that we need to be brilliant straight away. And we need to take our time and learn that actually mistakes, yeah, all right, they're not great to make, but actually they're so cool, because the feedback from that mistakes, if we are intelligent enough and open enough to go, okay, what did I learn from that, and take those moments to reflect and see what we could learn, there is a huge learning curve. So the video today is really about, you need to embrace failure. You need, if you want to be really successful, follow the pattern of Darren Hardy. He used to be the main owner of Success Magazine, and he's a great guy. He wrote this brilliant book called Compound Effect, and he, as he says, you need to fail big and you need to fail fast. So are you stopping yourself from doing something because you're frightened to fail? Are you doing something because you are using failure or the fear of failure as that, almost like that anchor, that safety harness to go, well, I don't need to do it, and if I don't do it, I can't fail, so therefore I can blame something else. Is it working like that? But ultimately what you need to do is, if you want to be successful, you've got to fail, and you've got to fail massive in order to do that. So a bit of an anti-positive in some way, but it's actually supposed to be a positive. So it's your challenge this week is to go and fail, go and learn something, because when you're doing that, you're pushing, you're going outside your comfort zone, you're going into your learning zone, and you're doing something that is going to expand your success, expand your happiness, expand your fulfillment, in order to get you the life, the business, and everything else that you want in your life. So good luck. Please share with me your failures. What have you learned from some of your failures? So for myself, is I learned one of my biggest lessons, and I shared this on an Entrepreneurs on Fire interview that will be coming out next week. It'll be coming out on the 7th of July. I shared that one of my biggest mistakes was that I didn't plan for if you want, having a backup strategy plan to write down how my processes worked. So all of a sudden is back in 2008, so it was a long time ago when the market crashed, all of a sudden is my client base literally fell off the planet. They just disappeared overnight because of how scared they were about where money was coming from and everything else. And actually, because I hadn't systematically written down or taken note or followed certain strategies, it was very hard to replicate. And it was almost like a complete learning circle for me, where I had to sort of literally, in some ways, start the prospect looking and the client generation again, because I didn't have that documentation written down so I could follow. And that was a massive learning lesson for me. So and again, a huge learning lesson for me is how to manage my stress. If I had learned to manage my stress more effectively, I wouldn't have probably been ill, and I wouldn't have gone through the pain and rubbish that I went through. So that was my suffering. But I'd love to hear what some of your failures were that gave you the best lessons, because most entrepreneurs I've ever spoken to, or people in this personal development realm, or business owners and entrepreneurs, we talk about, what have you done to succeed, and they talk about their failures and what lessons they learned from that. So I look forward to hearing from you. You can also subscribe on this channel on youtube.com/Jeff Nicholson UK, and I'd love to see you there, and keep updated on all of the videos that come your way. So take care, have an amazing day. I wish you the greatest success. Bye bye.